Don't say stage freeze, just freeze.
All right, welcome onto the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You know, it's been a long time coming. We've been off for a few months. This is Benny's Big Talk, and this is my friend Stevie. And here we are. So Stevie, tell me a little bit about yourself, as much as you'd like to, reveal for the audience, of course. What you do, what you like to do, walks on the beach, pina coladas. What do you like?
David Hasselhoff.
I can't blame you there, man.
For the viewers at home, I am a local of Clearwater, Florida. I say 27 and a half years, technically, because I did move for 2 years in Jacksonville through COVID.
Oh,
Was
that's
in
right, Jacksonville. That's right.
Minor
Yeah,
league
you went to school in
baseball, yeah.
Tallahassee. I remember when you moved to Jacksonville, you were gone for a little while.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, you were
And
out.
COVID hit when I was gone.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah,
March 19th.
6 feet, masks. Yeah, I kind of wish we could forget about that, to be honest. I was in the hospital the other day, and they put a mask on me, and I was like getting these flashbacks. It's like, I don't want this thing. Just take this thing off me, man.
I'll
Those
never
are bad
forget
memories.
the day before, and people had gone out literally the night before, like shut down.
Uh-huh.
They were partying at the beach bars in Jack's Beach.
Oh, at least they got one last night in. Damn, man. And then did you work from home after that?
Yeah, it was like work from home for it was like over a year.
Over a year?
Yeah, so that would have been March. We did socially distanced events.
Yeah.
So like meet and greet with Santa in December. But
nice.
It was at the ballpark. Everybody's wearing masks.
Santa had a big plastic face shield on.
Yeah. So we're at the ballpark doing all these events to try to get money because we're not getting money. So
yeah, right.
One thing I am thankful for, they didn't lay anybody off, and they probably easily could have.
Could have downsized a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't experience that work from home thing. I was doing construction the whole time, and so nothing really changed, except we lost a lot of employees. A lot of them just disappeared. Yeah, they went back over the border is really what happened in a lot of cases. A lot of guys I worked with. But, so we were just busting our ass the whole time. But we had to put masks on, in the heats, jackhammering with our fucking masks on. So it was a rough time, man.
Interesting times.
And now it's just like a distant nightmare.
Gonna be in a textbook in 10 years.
Yeah, honestly, we're going to be teaching our kids about it, but, the Great Plague of 2020 where like 5 people died, and everyone freaked the fuck out for no reason,
The great grandparents killer.
Extremely obese and extremely old people killer. What a shame.
Team Pfizer or team...
Yeah, Team Johnson & Johnson, Team Pfizer, man.
There was one more. What am I forgetting?
Whoever it is, they made a lot of money off that,
Moderna, that's what it was.
Moderna, that's right. Oh, look, we got a guest.
We love the special guest.
Welcome back, Two Thumbs Johnson, here to the show again. A little close up on there. So, Stevie, you've had some big changes in your life recently. You got married. Shiny and black. What's that made of? Tungsten? What is that?
It is tantalum.
Oh, you got a tantalum.
Yeah.
I got a tantalum too. Tantalum bros. Look at that. Boom. Nice.
Tantalum, yes.
The hardest metal or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
in the titanium family. It's like a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's tantalum.
Yeah, it's strong stuff.
Yeah, they were like, you could bang it on a bunch of stuff and it won't really scratch. I'm like, nice.
I've scratched the fuck out of mine somehow though. I don't know, but but I tap it on everything all the time this year. Just making drum beats and stuff. So I don't know.
Tap it on Amy's forehead. Just like, hey.
To get her attention. Yeah,
Hey,
I don't
wake
know.
up.
I guess I managed to scratch the hardest metal in the world somehow. That's how hardcore I am, Burbo.
I want to go back and get a refund.
I'm thinking about it. It's too big, actually. It keeps falling off. Like, I'll be doing laundry or something, and it just, slips off. Sometimes it's so bad, like if I'm going to stick my hand out the window to flip someone off while I'm driving, I actually take my ring off sometimes. I'm afraid it's going to fall off or something. Yeah.
I just give him one of these, hey.
There you go, yeah. I got to hold it and be like, there you go, fuck you, man. But, yeah.
But no, one thing, and shout out to my wife, she got me a pack of silicone bands.
Oh, yeah,
and
like the contractor bands. Yeah,
yeah, so I use them for, when I do kickball and softball games and stuff. I'll switch it out for the silicone, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's smart.
Especially, it's so weird. It's not I guess maybe it is OCD a little bit, but sometimes I pitch for our softball team and I can feel the rubbing against the softball was enough for me to be like, oh, okay. I don't feel that rubbing at all with the silicone.
So it's like a sensory thing, and it kind of messes with you while you're playing.
Pretty much, that slight little kind of movement is enough to trigger my brain and stuff.
That can really mess you up.
in my
It's
brain.
like, yeah, it's like something that gets in your head, even if it's
Yeah.
a tiny thing. Like
Yep.
I remember, like when I was playing gigs, I'd play guitar, and like my hands were like a little greasy or a little sweaty, and I'd be gripping the neck of the guitar, and I'd be like, "Ah, this is wrong. It doesn't feel right," and I'd be like, "Ah,"
Yep,
and then I
it's-
wouldn't play good, because
Yeah.
my head, you lost the game already in your head.
Oh, hey, we got another special guest.
Oh yeah, is she on screen? Oh, she sure is. This is Echo, everyone. We
Hello,
got two guests
hello.
on the show. We might get a third one here. Obviously, I'm not counting Stevie sitting next to me. We might get a fourth one, I mean to say. Big old black one with hair and big old teeth might
Thinks
be coming
he's
around
a
the corner.
cat.
He thinks he's a cat. Like Tarzan, was raised by gorillas. He thinks he's a gorilla.
Does he think he has opposable thumbs down too?
Yeah, he grabs my face with him. He's a sweet puppy, though, man.
Oh, he is.
He's good.
Can't believe how big he is now.
He's chunky, man.
Yeah, I remember when he was like this.
Yeah, man. I used to grab him in my hands like this.
Now his head's bigger than his whole body.
Oh my god. Yeah, now he's still a puppy, but he's like a murderous puppy. I have to be concerned that he could like trample a reasonably sized person. My grandma was gonna come over. It's not gonna work, man. It's gonna kill her. He's gonna see her and then he's gonna kill her. It's a responsibility. You gotta realize you got a killing machine. You gotta control that. But it's part of growing up. Speaking of growing up, man. Yeah. So how do you feel now that you're married?
It definitely changes you.
Okay. How so?
Once I found Amy, and then obviously now through our journey together, you realize it's not just about you anymore. Not that I had that type
Selfish
of
son of a bitch.
that selfish mindset, but you do think about things differently. You got this other human that's a part of your life now.
Yeah, you got priorities that change.
And your priorities change, right?
You realize you're kind of stupid in some ways that you didn't realize that you needed someone to inform you about.
You have somebody else to call you out on your shit, at all times. So I have
all the time.
I had that too, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it's good. Like good saying too that don't sweat the small things. Do we have our usual banter, like small little ribs? Yeah, but like if you can get past any of that and it's not the major things, finances or
finances are tough, man.
Politics or religion, like if you have those things in balance, then these small things, you can just laugh about. Like,
well, yeah, the values are important for sure.
Values are a big thing.
Like, I don't know how you could be with someone who has ideas that are kind of like diametrically opposed with how you think that you should live your life and the way people should.
As her and I felt each other out, dating wise, through different dates, that those type of those things aligned.
What was the biggest culture shock when you went to Italy? How was it different from what you know in America?
Great question. Transportation.
Oh yeah, much more efficient.
Yeah,
like the trains.
Yeah, the trains were nice. So taking the metro, the third day in Rome, we headed down Pat. We were just outside the Vatican City, where our hotel was. 10-minute walk to the metro.
So you took the train in Rome around Rome. Okay,
yeah, so
I never did that. I just walked the whole time.
So we took the train around Rome.
What was that experience like? I've heard it's a bit chaotic.
Definitely not as chaotic as New York City. I don't think anything is these days. You guys, some coworkers I had, made us err on the side of caution. You'll be mindful of potential pickpocketers.
Oh, yeah,
so
big problem.
There is that element there. Thankfully, Amy and I had no concern whatsoever about that. Very blessed and thankful about that.
To keep your stuff, close to your chest.
So tips, a coworker of mine who had been to Italy was like, keep everything front pocket. So yeah, I always had everything front pocket. Never anything back pocket. I don't even before going to Italy, I never usually have anything back pocket anyway.
Yeah, like your wallet. Like people used to put their wallets in their back pocket, but like that's uncomfortable as shit, man.
My dad is one of those who does that.
Pulls that big thing out.
Yeah, just growing up, seeing him have it in the back. I'm like, how?
I wonder why you got back problems, man. Yeah.
I tested that out like maybe once or twice when I was like maybe high school. I'm like, this is uncomfortable.
It's awful.
Yeah, like how do people do this? Another tip that people had was, at the metro station, one person's buying the ticket, the other was like just watching. So
yeah, you got to look out. That's good.
Keeping a lookout. Yeah, I mean, like
nice.
The only day we felt maybe mentally a little slight concern was leaving Rome.
Yeah,
because that was the busiest. It was. It was Sunday in the morning. It was crowded then. That was probably the crowded.
At the train station?
Yeah, at the
Termini?
metro. So we had to go from the metro down to the Terminini stop, which is where train station is in Rome. And then the trains, can't tell you enough awesome.
They're fast, man.
Oh my man, that is such an efficient way of travel.
Did you get the tickets where you get like snacks and stuff on the train?
Oh yeah, we had business class. So
nice.
we were in bougie business class.
You get like leather seats, man. You get
we
like
had
cookies.
our setup was her seat was here, my seat was here. We were like one of like 12 people in the car. Everybody's pretty much in the same boat. Yeah, we had snacks, we had drinks.
It's a great way to travel.
Oh my gosh,
Comfy.
it was shout out Italy. I mean, that is such an efficient way of travel. We need
Why can't we do that here, man? Why not? Well, we know why. You know, it's fucking auto industry, man. You know, they wouldn't let it happen. You know,
like
gotta be cars.
Man, that like I would tell anybody, friends, viewers, you're going, especially in Italy, take the trains. So we went from Rome to Florence. And it was like 2 hours. No.
Many.
Maybe like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think it's like a 2-hour trip, something like that. It'd be way longer in a car.
Oh, I mean, it was. I mean, I didn't.
It's a beautiful trip, though.
It did not feel like 2 hours.
Did you take it in the morning? Were you able to see everything inside?
Yeah, so we took the Italian countryside was beautiful as well.
Yeah. Okay. What'd you think about Florence?
Florence, art epicenter. A lot of art there.
It's all museums.
So we did not go into the Duomo. So
Okay,
our walking tour went to the outside part of it. Yeah, but we went to the museum where the David was.
Okay. Yeah, that's Galleria dell'Accademia.
That's right.
Very nice.
We also saw the fake David too.
Outside,
Yep.
right? Yeah, along with all the other statues there that are in front of the Medici Palace, right?
Right.
What do you think of David?
Magnificent.
Marvelous?
Marvelous. Magnificent specimen.
Yeah, an incredible ass on that guy, man. You know, it's just perfectly formed.
Tight.
You know, except you look right there, right where his taint should be. It's just like a block. You know, Michelangelo did not get the fine details of his taint in there. You know, I mean, he kind of slacked a bit on that part.
I agree.
If you're looking careful, you know, but you can see some
that out a
spots.
little bit better.
Yeah, maybe next time.
But, I mean, he looked like he was well hung.
Well, yeah, he was hung, you know, in a modest way, I think. Yeah, you know, it's a different attitude towards hanging back then than it is today.
But you know the significance of that, right? Like,
of his small member. Well, yeah, it was associated with intelligence and prudence. Right. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. So it was wrong to have a big honcho.
Yeah.
Back in those times.
There's when we went to Italy, we went to Pompeii, and there's a famous painting there in the walls of someone's house of Priapus, and Priapus was a Roman god of I think he was just like a god of kind of ridiculousness, basically. And in the depiction of him, he has this magnum dong, right? This massive fucking thing. And it's so heavy he's weighing it on a scale. Right, with a bunch of gold on the other side or something like that, you know. And but to the Romans, it was like this ridiculous, like, you know, like, what are you doing with that thing? You're just swinging this thing around, you know, because it was like the idea was like you're obsessed with sex and stuff like that, and you couldn't think about more elevated matters, you know, like politics, arts, and philosophy, because you were too busy swinging, you know. So yeah, the small member was much more prized in the old days.
Our best meal, and it was one of our first non-pizza pasta dinners, was in Florence. It was a recommendation by a friend of mine whose family and ancestors are from Sicily. Shout out Alex. Recommended this place. You're in Florence, you got to go here. So the place we went to, I'll butcher the name of it, so I won't say it. But
do it, please.
I won't say it.
Butcher away.
It was right by the Florence train station, actually, not too far.
Okay, yeah.
It was voted one of the top 101 best steakhouses in the world.
Okay.
It was in the top 75 in Italy. And that was probably our best dinner.
So you had the Chianina Florentine beef, man.
That's right.
Very nice.
Something to that effect, probably. Yeah. And this place had, you know, you go in there, Amy and I were sitting at a table for two. You look in the back, and like you can see the meats just hung up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like, yeah, this place probably is pretty good. Other than the fact that they had their awards outside right before you walk in. It's like, okay, if you don't think that's enough.
You got the provenance, man.
You see the meat hanging in the bag and think, this place.
So compare it to, you know, an American steak that you would have here, right?
Yeah.
So give us some flavor profiles, right? What's the difference?
definitely think it's how they seasoned it for sure. It's so hard to like describe it to some. I could describe it to you, but without you having experienced it as well, knowing like I guess the best way I could say it was the salt that they had, but also I could taste some pepper, and the pepper mixed in with the seasoning was like it had that melt in your mouth. Flavor, but like you could really taste not only the seasoning but the pepper added to it. And it's like, okay, Amy, all I needed to see, she personally has had more steak in her life than I have probably.
You're not a steak guy?
I am, but chicken wings are usually my thing. That's my that's my go-to. The duck may swim on the lake, but my daddy owns the lake.
Holy shit! What does that mean?
That's from Holes.
Oh, it's been a minute for that one, man. Oh.
Yep.
That's the Stevie makes an obscure reference. I gotta keep you in check, man.
But you know Holes.
I know Holes, but I don't know every line from the movie. I remember Stanley Yelnats and the Snickers and the magic
You don't remember
peaches.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa?
I do remember I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
That's too damn bad.
That's the limits of my very weak memory. I am a boomer, an honorary boomer, in fact.
Do you remember I Can Fix This?
That's way too vague for me to remember. Hitting it again.
That's what Sam says.
That's not specific enough of a quote for anyone to recognize.
He says
as
it like 10
quotes.
times.
That's like saying, "Hey, good morning," and you're like, "Do you remember that's from Pulp Fiction?" Quotes gotta be specific. Not all of us have movie brain like you, Stevie.
Yellow spotted lizards, man. I'm telling you.
Doing it again. We have different autisms, and our autisms are clashing, like slightly different shades of black.
Let's reel it back in.
All right, reel it back in. Here we're talking about. All right, you're talking about your experience in Italy.
Okay,
Right?
do we want to finish that or?
I mean, shit. Like, tell me about the broad strokes, man. What'd you think? I mean, what'd you think of the people? What'd you think of the culture? Like,
people were nice. The culture was
everyone was nice.
Pretty much.
What happened?
We were at dinner. It didn't happen to us. So we were in Venice now.
Okay.
Right on the canal. There's a table like right behind them is the canal. There's this guy sitting by himself. He was ordering bread, but like he wanted butter. And the guy just gave him a like mentally like, what the fuck are you asking for?
Was he a foreigner? Was he an American or something? The guy who wanted butter?
Asian guy. Just was like, can I get some butter for the bread? And he's like,
panculo. You got oil.
Oil.
Yeah,
oil,
that's right.
Olive oil. And like the guy asked him like a second time and you could just tell.
Oh, yeah.
The owner was just like,
not having it,
yeah, not really. Like told him again, like, oh, we just have oil. And he walks back, and you can just see him mumbling to himself, like,
"Yeah, man." They take their food so seriously.
It was so funny to just now stay with me. Just reminded me of the soup Nazi, basically, of like, you don't do that. Like, you just
no soup for you.
Yeah, he didn't do the no soup for you, but he was just like, the fuck is this?
It's true, but they take it seriously. It's like, I mean, to them, the food is like, that's their history, that's their province. It's, they've done it a certain way for so long that like, there's like an arc over Europe and there's like a line of butter and oil. And over a certain latitude, they do butter, and then below that they do oil, right? And so like if you're in Italy or like southern Austria, especially when they do olive oil, then you go up north and it's all butter. But they don't really like butter much in Italy, but you're not going to know that if you don't go there.
It was just very funny to like people watch that play out, and like Amy and I just like, okay, we can't. Don't piss them off. Like, we're just going to stay right here.
Don't order a cappuccino after like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
They yell at you for that kind of stuff.
On the culture part, like Amy and I mean, by like 10, 11 a.m., these people are drinking wine.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it's totally different than here, man. Like Venice, what we were impressed. You don't need a car at all. Take a water boat or a water taxi.
Well, where would the cars go? Yeah, there's no place for them.
Exactly. But like when you're there, like where we were in the heart of it, people are just walking everywhere. So like for the viewers at home, I'm sorry, there was no fat people.
Oh yeah.
Like,
of course not.
And I joked.
You gotta walk.
I joked with my friend Alex. He's like, "Oh, we hide them."
Yeah. There's fat people. There's fat people.
Oh
everywhere.
yeah,
but it's like the percentage is a lot lower.
I will say too, Amy and I, we saw two little people, two different experiences of that versus
little people,
midget.
Oh wow, you mean like my size or like smaller?
Below you. And it was like,
wow, that's really short.
Oh yeah, and Amy was like, "Don't point," but like
you pointed.
We saw two. I think I briefly pointed it on the first.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
Of course.
they
Couldn't
didn't
help yourself.
see, obviously.
You didn't throw them at a target like
I
in
was
Wolf of Wall
just
Street.
like,
Did you? Right.
whoa, a midget
Oh
Italian.
my
Look at
God.
this.
Is that what you said out loud?
No.
Whoa.
But, I mean, we didn't see one obese Italian at all.
Yeah, you see some older guys, a little bit of weight to them.
Yeah,
like that,
I
you
mean,
know,
but, like,
the obese is.
I
that's
think
pretty rare
Amy and
thing.
I's common, what we thought, they're walking everywhere.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, they may be consuming wine,
Pizza,
beer,
pasta,
pizza,
all the
pasta,
time.
but they are walking to dinner. They are walking home. Whatever they're consuming, they're burning it off.
And you can walk places, unlike
Yes,
here
and
where it's just impossible
you
to
can
live
walk
that way.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The way they prepare food, obviously, right? Like,
Yeah, a lot of
what they're
love.
actually consuming is way
It's real
better
food.
than us. Yeah, than all the preserves and
It's illegal over there, honestly. Most of the
yeah.
preservatives we have.
But like
Yeah.
Amy's favorite pizza place was in Florence. Now she judged it obviously going in. They marked it as world's best gluten-free pizza, and she's like, "How real is this?" Well,
Congratulations,
Yeah, exactly.
world's best.
but like, I mean, she came out of that like that was her favorite
Yeah.
spot. Yeah. And
What
that
kind
was
of what kind of pizza was it? I didn't have pizza in
margarita, I believe.
Florence. Okay, yeah, so like the Neapolitan style pizza.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. You taste the difference. You taste the difference in the love, in the care,
Yep.
and the lack of adulterants, and it really makes a difference. And like even if you like celiac is, you know, that's the most serious form of gluten intolerance. But a lot of people that have mild gluten intolerances, a lot of cases it's just the shit they put into the bread in the United States.
Yeah.
But that doesn't go into the bread in Europe. And even I found I used to have issues with bread. I had no problems at all while I was there because it's just real bread. It's
That
it's
was-
just yeast, salts, water, and you know, it's so different.
We used your advice, you and Megan, and gelato every day. Our favorite gelato place was in Rome, right
Yeah.
by the Vatican. Sorry, no, it wasn't the Vatican. Pause.
Wind it back.
The fountain, Trevi Fountain, actually. Excuse me.
okay.
Not the
All right,
Vatican,
yeah,
it was Trevi Fountain. So right across from Trevi is that church. You know what I'm talking about?
There's actually like 1,000 churches.
We're
in
seeing
Rome,
the
but-
front of Trevi right here.
Okay,
Right? Just
yeah.
picture that. Right behind you is that church. Like
okay.
right here. They have
Yeah.
the steps walking up. Right there is a gelato place. Right. Like,
Yeah, nice.
that was probably the most enriched mint chocolate I've ever had. Like you could really, I mean, like, you know, I know it's glorified toothpaste, as Charlie would say, but
that what
for
Charlie
me, I mean,
says?
I could really taste the mint and the chocolate. I won't listen to Charlie. I'll just keep doing me, man.
Don't listen to Charlie, man. Just let him have his Tums, you know. All right, Stevie. So I wanted to get your opinion. You know, when you work in the tech industry, I
Yeah.
want to know where you think the future of tech industry is going. You know, relation with AI.
Yeah.
How large language models are changing the way we all do business. You know, I mean, whether you think it's going to be kind of a destructive force or constructive, what it's going to mean for like the average working man. What do you think the future of that is?
Sure. And for people that may not know, so I work for a distribution company. We are the largest local distributor of Microsoft. in
When you
the
say
area.
largest local, you mean like in the Tampa Bay area?
Yeah, like in Florida too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So that's more than
definitely
local. That's pretty big.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't realize that like when I first, joined,
Wait, so how's that work? I mean, so instead of buying Microsoft, from Windows from Microsoft,
Yeah.
they buy it from you?
Yeah. So like we call them partners, but another term would be resellers. So our clients are resellers. And so they can buy our Microsoft licensing with us
Yeah.
for a discount. And then they in turn can turn around and sell it to their clients, which
Or
are
a premium.
and customers.
There's so many middlemen here,
Yep.
Stevie.
So we are the middleman between the resellers who partner with us
Yeah.
and Microsoft. The companies that partner with us, they're getting back end rebates and incentives through us by doing that.
Okay.
So like they can buy the hardware from us, they can buy the licensing from us.
So what do you do specifically?
So I'm on the licensing side.
Okay.
You mentioned AI. One of the licenses I can sell is Copilot.
Okay.
So our Microsoft's version of
Of a large language model like ChatGPT, right?
Like ChatGPT.
So
correct.
what kind of clients are you selling Copilot to?
It can be different business arms, meaning legal field, hospitals, can be schools. For instance, the schools, we have public sector offerings for those at home, that means nonprofit organizations, schools for for the education piece,
Okay.
and then government
Okay.
entities too.
So are you acting kind of like a salesman, for okay, so like how are you advertising this product to them? How are you pitching it to them? What is it going to do for them? What do you imagine these companies are using these AI tools for?
Yeah,
And what is the
so-
selling
okay.
point to them?
Selling point is getting work done quicker, efficiency. Those large language models, if programmed right, they can utilize our teachings too from like our Copilot team, like knowing the in and out of it. They can just make their job more efficient.
Do they give instructions to the clients and how they can utilize it, to make things more efficient?
We have like demos and trainings that they can join with webinars.
Yeah.
So where they can like come in. They even do what's really cool. They get like a sandbox environment and they can go in there and test Copilot and everything, right? And so what we see a lot of the time is they'll just get a few licenses at first, less than 10. One thing we have going on right now is we do have a promotion going on right now. If they get at least 10 licenses to start, they get a discount.
Oh, so you're really pushing scale. You're really trying to get them to buy in at this level.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So what does the license cost?
12 months up front.
Yeah.
It's like $337.
What does that give them? Text generation, photo generation, full capabilities of the AI model, not restricted.
So we call it at our office, the big boy. They're getting the full scale, full functionality of Copilot like you would get like ChatGPT.
Have you had any negative response from your clients as like maybe ways that it might have, hindered in their business or
everybody
a liability?
Right. Everybody's unique and different. Yeah. Companies are unique and different, right? So I've had a few instances where the client was just like, this sucked. It wasn't worth it to them, but like overarching is, Copilot is worth it. It's legit. For the ones that are like, oh yeah, this sucked. They bought like one license.
And they just couldn't figure out what to do with it.
Correct.
Yeah. When I first started working
with
it.
So it was more like user error, right? Like,
user, just a personal disinterest.
User experience was not the same.
Yeah. I remember when Luke was using OpenAI, very early on, he was doing it, for, grocery lists, for like bouncing ideas off of all these things. And I was just like, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to use this for anything. I'll just write my grocery list. I didn't need this at all. Yeah. And then I try again a few months later, and all of a sudden, I'm telling it everything. I'm having these full, deep conversations. I'm looking for relationship advice. I'm having it organize, my podcast information, which I think was honestly a mistake, And so the trust you build in it kind of like balloons. That's what I'm wondering is kind of as we trust it more and more and more, if it's going to, increase proportionally in its capability, or if we're going to be seeing the holes start to appear in terms of, especially when you trust business to it. If you say like, build me an expense report, and how can you really trust this output? You have to go through and proofread it, because it can just put out bullshit sometimes. And then you can catch on it, be like, hey, this numbers don't match up. And then it'll say like, oh, sorry, I didn't actually do these calculations. I just made this up, right? Yeah. And so how do you like guarantee when people are using this for finances, things like that it's not going to just go and just run away and make shit up?
So I think what you're going to see when you were asking me like, what's the future on it? That is part of it, like for business side, right? Like with Copilot, at least you can like toggle it. Like if I search something, there is a work tab feature and there's a web. So when you're on the web, it's going to pull from the web.
Like and the work Google, only pulls from local, proprietary files.
If you toggle it to the work, it's going to pull internal file.
Yeah.
Anything internal, it can go find. So I think the big one is, from someone in my role too, that, to speak wisdom on is prompting is a big thing. So you might see like prompt engineers, jobs like that popping up, like
promptographers.
But like, no, seriously, prompting is, and I learned it. I'm one of the few internally that have the Copilot license for free, like the full go, like what our clients are buying. I'm in that realm of like, I don't use it every day. I should use it more. Using it, in the right context. Prompting is the big thing.
You can lead it You
Correct.
can lead it to the right places or to very wrong places,
Yep, exactly.
And,
So
and it
that
also
is
gives you
the
like a
big-
bias, right, in your results. So you
Yes.
can lead it to where you want to, and
Yep.
it may not be giving you, an actual reflection of reality. It's
Yep.
giving you the reality that you asked for in the prompts, right?
Yep. So the big thing is, and I learned it from my old boss. Prompting is the big thing because especially on your question about big business, like on the business side of it, right? Like they're pulling those files and stuff, knowing and writing the language to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
Having those parameters in place so you don't have error. Everybody's big thing, right, is security. Not having like a data breach or anything like that. But along with not only Copilot, we have other licensing that you have where you have those data security features.
Yeah, and if you have that hard line between internet generation versus proprietary company information generation, that's it goes a long way towards keeping that information secure, But I wonder how about the reliability of it. Even if you have the perfect prompt. Like for instance, I would when I was doing the podcast a while ago, I'd often take the scripts, right, and I would put it in there, the transcripts, and I would say, all right, so pick out pieces of this that are interesting, maybe useful for a clip or something like that. And they would read through it, and then it would give me some suggestions. And then sometimes those suggestions would be words that I didn't say. It would just be stuff they just made up. They thought it sounded cool. And then I was like, well, I didn't say this. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, I just made that up. I thought it just sounded cool. And then I said, never do that again. And it's like, sure, gotcha, bro. And then it does it again, and then it does it again, and then it keeps doing it. And no matter how many times I specifically say and add it as a condition saying, please generate responses here, however, never generate something that was not specifically stated, it just, it gets these like bugs in the code, this kind of like ghosts in the machine because the algorithm gets so big and so complex, that it trips over itself, and so that's why I just wonder about the reliability of using something like this that's machine learning, and then you rely financially on this, and also personally, if you get it for trusted advice.
Yeah. So was your experience ChatGPT?
It's ChatGPT. Okay. I have some experience with Microsoft's version. I use it at work.
Yeah.
But it specifically will not remember personal information. Or at least the version that we use will. It doesn't keep memory like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is for security reasons.
Is that ChatGPT or the Copilot?
No, it's Copilot.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Copilot. And we can't use ChatGPT at work, but we do use Copilot.
Yeah.
And I can't use it for calculations. I can't use it for simple engineering stuff. I can't put formulas in because I have to double check every single thing it does because oftentimes it will just make up numbers. Can't even do the Pythagorean theorem. And that's what my concern over the future of it is.
I don't know. I wonder if you have I wonder if you have the free version.
Yeah, I think that if I pay $360 a year, it learns how to do math.
Well, I'm not trying to slant that any way, but does yours have the ability to where it's in your Outlook, it's in your Excel,
it's just in the browser.
Okay, yeah. So I was just curious. The Copilot I have at work, it can go. It's the
fully integrated.
Yes,
version
it's
of it,
in
right?
your Outlook
with all of the different Microsoft apps.
It's in your
It's inside your butthole.
Yeah, so
it knows you intimately.
So if you were in Excel and you were doing
a spreadsheet,
you could use Copilot in real time.
Yeah.
Copilot's in Teams now too, so
it's everywhere. Well, yeah, anything Microsoft.
Sorry, yeah.
So do you think of it AI as a completely good force in the world?
Used correctly, it can be, but there's that human element.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing.
What about our jobs? How do you think it's going to affect our jobs in the future?
Oh,
as tech workers, as white collar tech workers.
I think it depends on the company, right, and the job that you're in. Now, you and I watch reels and stuff like that. Some I've seen it like people are doing the alert, within the next 5-10 years, AI could phase out a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Because why hire a workforce when you could just have AI do what a human's doing, right?
Especially lower level jobs.
Correct. So I think I don't know this, we know everything could change.
Yeah.
I don't want to push the cart before the horse on that with my role, but I think what I do now, I should be fine. Jobs you could see is like an AI prompter, like engineer.
You think it's going to create more jobs too that'll replace the other ones?
in the right context and used correctly, yes, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the movies, robots and AI.
Talking about when Skynet becomes self-aware,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
they're always, everybody has fears. So it's still young, right? Like,
Yeah.
we just got to hope that it's utilized in the right context, in the right fashion.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure we'll survive.
But I think we got to hope the powers that be utilize this for the right reasons and in the right and like manage it properly.
And it is in the hands of the powerful, the big tech companies building data centers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like an egalitarian force. It's something that is being pushed by big business as kind of like a gift to humanity, but they're using it almost entirely for profit. If AI is going to be controlled and operated by big companies, because it has to be, just because it's an expensive thing to run. They need massive data centers, massive power usage. And again, in my industry, I work in the power industry. We're having to build massive new infrastructure just to handle these huge data centers just because of AI generation. And we're charging people, we're increasing their energy bills just to pay for local data centers. Those costs are not being delivered to the tech companies that are building them. They're being passed on to consumers, and so I'm concerned that this is being sold as a gift to the people, but it's literally just a way to fuck us and make money off us. And that we're not really going to benefit much beyond having like a fancier Google search.
Yeah, there's obviously the fear of that. I don't disagree with too much at all of what you just said. That is the fear for sure. And then obviously you see the ripple effects of it now, like in our everyday life with cars. Cars these days have all the tech in them, right? They have all the gadgets and gizmos.
Yeah.
In certain cases, you don't even need to drive anymore. The Tesla will drive for you.
Yeah, right.
So
drive you right into the back of a fucking semi truck, man.
So luckily, my wife is not within earshot, but she is one who is really keen on these Tesla Roadsters. I'm like, hard pass right now. So
I feel like
give me my normal car.
You think you're gonna hold out on a gas powered car for a while?
Yeah.
I feel like it is an inevitability. We are going to be driving electric cars.
Yep.
I mean, there's
no
doubt about it.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if I'm ready to adopt it just yet, but there's some cool features. Like I love how quiet, how fast they are. I don't trust the reliability. It's also not particularly eco-friendly, even though you think it is, just because the production of these things is just massively pollutive and exploitative with a lot of ugly production of like lithium, things like that. But I have a friend who has a couple Teslas, and when he first got his first one, he wanted to show it off to us about the self-driving capabilities. And so we were going outside a restaurant. He's like, "All right, the car is going to pick us up." So it was in a parking spot, and he turned it on, boop, boop, and then it started driving towards us. And it's kind of hesitating, and it's turning, and it's going out. And then it's coming around to the side of the front of the restaurant, and then it just stops and it starts freaking the fuck out and like turning the wheels other side and going back and forth. And he's just like, whoop, and he has to go run and jump in the car because he thinks it's going to crash. And I'm just like, I don't know if we're ready for this shit yet, man.
A lot of people aren't. And then like e-bikes are all the craze.
That's kind of cool though. That's kind of cool.
It is, but then you get like, older grandparent age people getting on these e-bikes that have no business getting on an e-bike. And having just having accidents, right? Like,
because they think they can ride because it doesn't take the physical prowess anymore. But then they crash because they're not aware. And
correct. And so my parents will go out in Dunedin, and the trail's right there, right? Yep. Your exact point. Like my dad will watch as these people who have no business and probably should have no business being on an e-bike get on an e-bike. They don't know how powerful it actually is, and then you just get the accident.
They're fast.
Yes.
Well, like conversely though, like especially with electric cars, like you'll have, if self-driving ever becomes, ubiquitous, then you won't have to deal with old people their senility is driving them to go in the wrong direction on the highway and stuff like that. You'll have a reduction theoretically in crashes from user error.
That's true.
And assuming you can trust that. If it becomes less about the people driving than more about the machine, then I remember we talked about this when I had the boys on the podcast, right? And we talked about self-driving cars. It's like, what happens if two self-driving cars crash into each other, right? Who's at fault there, Yeah.
The legality of that too. I know we had to. No, it's true.
Yeah, but it's coming.
Oh, it is. You're totally right. And there is a lot of cool benefits and features of these electric cars. It's, I have my Corolla right now. It's paid off and it runs like a horse.
Flex.
So,
Nice.
but I think what I could evolve into is what my brother has, the Hyundai Elantra, which is a hybrid.
Oh yeah.
I think I might go hybrid before I would do electric.
Hybrid's cool. Yeah, it's part of the inevitable kind of march of time. We're in kind of a transitionary space. There used to be, a million horses in New York City, and now there's like 5, just shitting in Central Park, while the Mounties just kind of stroll around. But it used to be like...
the Clydesdales come in.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, the Central Park, what was it? Central Park Rangers?
Central Park Rangers from, shout out L.
But it used to be there were like 80 fucking foot high stacks of horse shit in New York City, and now they aren't there anymore, and so it's kind of the same with gas powered cars. I mean, they're going to go the way of the dodo, and we just have to roll with it. But we're in a transitionary generation, we're kind of between the old world and the new, and we have to kind of just find our place in it, I guess, and try and enjoy ourselves along the way. We're going to talk about games, weren't we?
Yeah,
we talk about that. Because I want to ask you. I mean, because we were talking about retro video games the other day, and thinking I want to talk about how that industry is changing and where you think that's going, and
sure.
What do you think is the biggest difference between gaming now and the way it was 20 years ago?
Microtransactions for one.
Fuck, man.
Yep.
Horse armor. Started all that shit, man.
It's terrible. I mean, we used to get back. You guys know me as sports gamer mostly, but one of my all-time favorite games, original Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2.
Oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
You would never be caught dead with a microtransaction in that thing.
It was a complete game that came out with a bunch of maps. You could play it for hundreds of hours.
The campaign mode alone, my brother and I, hundreds of hours into that. Galactic Conquest. And
a lot of maps, and the multiplayer was really fun.
Yes.
And yeah, they didn't try and sell you extra stuff on top of that. And then the games were what was that, $40 when it came out? Something like that? I mean, I've lived through games. I remember when games cost $20.
Yep.
And then they were 30 for a while, and then I feel like the jump to 60 was really fast. And they've been 60 for 10 years.
It was probably a blip in the Matrix for 40, because you were right. PS2 I believe was 40.
Yeah.
Largely PS3 was 50. Mm-hmm. And now we're at 60 to 70.
Yeah, we're at 70, and some people are talking about 80, and then supposedly people are rumoring that GTA 6
200.
might be not 200, 100. Yeah,
well, I've seen rumors.
200 would be fucking nuts, man.
I've seen rumors for 200.
For a collector's edition or something, but as far as I've heard is 100. But regardless, either
at least
one
100.
is
You're right. Yeah.
So, what do you think that's going to do to the industry if they did charge $100 for GTA 6?
Well, I mean, it could price people out.
Do you think that less people will buy it at that price?
I think the naysayers. Oh, I don't want this. Right? I'm not gonna buy. Screw GTA.
Yeah, but everyone plays it. I feel like they're not going to experience that much of a sales drop if they raise the price. Which is the scary thing, though.
I'm agreeing with you. Just to stick it to the man, those people will not buy it. But I think you're right.
How many people is that though? That game is so fucking popular.
We're talking less than 5%.
Yeah, no, even smaller than that.
Yeah,
that for me, I'm gonna buy a console. As a PC player who hates consoles, I'm going to buy a console just to play it on launch day because I want to fucking play GTA 6 that much. That's the kind of clientele they're dealing with. So they could charge anything for it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But what is that going to mean?
It's going to set the gaming industry. It's going to set the market.
They're setting a bar, yeah. And all of a sudden, everyone else is going to be like, oh, our game's worth $100 too. That's the new quadruple A price.
And we know a lot of those games are going to fall short. It's not going to be worth $100.
Because, GTA 6 will probably be worth $100.
Hell, I remember getting Red Dead 2 on launch, and I had a feeling this thing is going to be good. I played one, and I'm like, if it's even half as good.
And it blew it out of the water, man.
This thing, I mean, how many games can rival, let alone beat the original?
The original was great. I think they reached a depth that even the original, which had a tremendous story. I mean, you don't get a lot of great stories like that in gaming. I mean, Rockstar started, I feel like, with GTA 4 with really changing the direction of their storytelling, going in a much more dramatic direction.
Shout out Nico Bellic.
Man, Nico had an amazing story, dude, man. Fucking rags to riches. I mean, he didn't have the riches,
Dimitri.
Really. Fucking Dimitri, man. Cousin. That was so...
That's Roman, not Dimitri.
Oh, fucking no. Who's Dimitri? Who's Dimitri?
Cousin, let's go bowling.
Who's the fucking Dimitri then?
Dimitri was the Antagonist. Remember?
I don't remember. It's been too long, Stevie.
Dimitri was the antagonist at the end.
As a PC player, you know what was really annoying is that you can't finish that game without modding it. So when you jump into like a helicopter or something, there's like in the final mission,
Yeah.
and then as soon as that happens, the game crashes and it ends, and you don't get to play the end of the game. So I've never been able to finish GTA 4, but I've played it like twice.
Come to Casa Soeda. We have it on PS3 still.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play the entire game.
No,
we boot up the last mission.
We've beaten the game. We'll boot up the last mission. Yeah.
Maybe I gotta play the whole thing again, you know. But they got mods on PC that make it look really good. But
that game still holds up. Hey, you know me, like as a guy doesn't play too many non-sports games.
You just play Madden every year, like is that what you do?
Yeah, you know, much to Charlie's chagrin, you're just throwing money away, which he's probably right in certain because EA, you know, shout out EA for sucking ass. But
well, let me ask, every year is it worth it again?
Probably not, other than the fact that the new players are added.
They use real people. They use real players.
Yeah, the college guys that get drafted.
They add them into the game.
They add them into the new game. Yeah,
you just gotta have those college kids, man.
Huh?
You just gotta have those college kids.
Yeah,
man?
I guess.
It's not the same.
You know, Charlie would be like, "Oh yeah, Stevie's gotta have those college kids." But you know, you could get, for instance, you could get Madden 24. A guy could export the latest draft class, so you could keep an older version.
I was gonna say, can't they update it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what. Fun fact.
Graphics get better.
I love college football, and I don't know if you were aware. It took a 10-year hiatus. So the last game was 2014. It was all due to now what they had with NIL, player image and likeness. A former player, Ed O'Bannon, was tired of not having rights
to their image and
likeness.
So did they just put them into the game without getting their rights to their image?
Correct. Yes.
That's crazy.
So EA was profiting
in their names too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what would happen is you would have a very prominent player. Jameis Winston was our star player. Freshman in the game. QB number 5 is what he would be imported as. But everybody with a brain knew who that was.
Because they had his face.
They didn't have his actual face. So they would have
So it was just his jersey number?
They had his jersey number and his...
But how was it his likeness if they didn't have his face?
You knew who it was.
Because of the team he was on and his position.
And his position.
So you knew who he was. But it didn't actually look like him?
No, it was not his...
Who gives a fuck then? Yeah. It's not his likeness.
No, it wasn't his legit face, but
But is it close?
The generated version of it was very close.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But it wasn't his.
They're making an
analog
of him, yeah.
Correct.
So they were doing like a royalty-free version.
Like when you could if you've ever played an old sports game, you had like those generic faces that they make.
Yeah.
The generic face was very close.
Now, so it's like if they have a gun in a game, but they can't call it like the 6 Sauer P26, they call it like this is the P25 or something, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it is the same thing. They just don't call it.
So the guy, so that basically EA and the NCAA were just profiting off the players.
I guess. But what about them is even related to their likeness? You know, is it the way that they play? Like, do they import their abilities and things into the game as what is it about them that is actually being stolen?
It was just, oh, hey, I'm in this game, but I'm QB number 5. I'm not getting.
But how do we know it's even them? Because it just means that they're the quarterback for that team at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're just saying that, oh, you should make this my likeness, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with them.
No,
it could just be another version of that team.
Correct.
Right?
It would just happen to be, so in the case of Jameis, okay, it's QB number 5 on Florida State. Everybody who's associated with Florida State knows who that is.
Yeah.
It's just the game is not the difference now.
How did they solve it?
So in the new game now, it's imported with their actual name versus me.
Do they pay them?
Huh?
Do they pay them?
They pay them now too.
Wow.
So the guys are getting paid now. So now you're seeing it like if you're like a cover athlete, you're getting more than maybe just like a second or third string lineman, but like they're each getting $500.
Okay.
Yes, but the other guys who are like cover athletes or something like that are getting more. Like for instance, Peyton Manning, his grandson, guys in the sport now, he's getting a little bit more.
He has a grandson?
Yeah, he's got a grandson.
Peyton Manning has a grandson? Wait, who's playing?
Sorry. Oh my gosh, it's Art. It's his dad. Sorry,
sorry. I was like, how fucking old am I now?
Sorry, it's his nephew.
All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
all right.
it's his nephew. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Time flies,
we
man.
can edit that, please.
No, I'm going to keep that.
Yeah, no, I made a goof. Wow, rare goof by
Okay,
me.
but let me ask you this. So, like, does the players' abilities and the way that they play, does that get into the game somehow?
Yeah,
like,
so
if you have Peyton
now-
Manning in the game, is it his particular style? And
Yep.
it's like, does that get
So
into the
now
game?
they have what they call like superstar and abilities. So like
Yeah.
X Factors they call it too. But yes, what Arch's play style would be is now in the game.
Yeah.
They had that a little bit back in the old version, right? The big thing was just like Jameis was not profiting at all off this version of him being in the prior game.
And I get that. The graphics are pretty great with those. I've looked at the recent years, and it's like indistinguishable from reality.
Yes.
Especially if you're far away, and they use the same camera perspectives as you would
Yeah.
see on the games.
Yep.
Like, those above shots, tracking. Like, it's pretty amazing how good
it
it
is.
looks.
And so like the big thing that they did, now they obviously now.
Oh, wait. Let me ask you a question, Stevie. Have you ever paid for any microtransactions in these games?
To the viewers at home, yes, I actually have.
Oh, no.
A couple, I know.
How much you spend?
Oh, it's got to be less than
$10,000.
It's less than 300. 300.
That's more than I thought it'd be. What the fuck? $300. Okay, on what?
I mean, this is like, in all the recent years with this being the case.
Okay.
I really try to stay clear of it as a whole because fuck that. Like, I've been bad in certain things. What they'll get you it's called Ultimate Team.
Mm-hmm.
It's an online mode, but then you can actually play people online. You can get current players, alumni, like from way back in the day. They give them a grade. Obviously, the higher the grade, the better the player.
Are you paying for better players?
Basically, so what people can do for Ultimate Team is like you would pay for like a whole roster. You build out your entire offense, defense, special teams for like 90 plus overall.
Is this like pay to win so you get better players?
They have challenges and stuff like that where you're not paying.
Are you playing multiplayer against other people's teams?
You can. I'm not. In this one, it's usually versus the computer, and you're just doing different challenges. There are modes where you play online against somebody, and you're playing it's your team, whatever the overall grade is, versus that person's team. Whatever your grade is, they try to match it up with like a similar opponent.
Okay, so what are you actually paying for with
You're
the
paying for these
microtransactions?
packs.
Okay, and the pack gives you better roster, better
Correct.
roster of players.
Yep.
What is that? What is that like? How much? Like, what is each transaction about? Like $20 or like?
Yeah. Most recent one was like I think maybe 15.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm buying a certain.
That's for one player.
No, I'm buying like a pack. Whatever the pack is.
Which has a few. I'm just trying to see how addicted you are to microtransactions, Stevie. I'm just trying
I'm
to
not
gauge
as
your level of
addicted, but
addiction.
I have. Like I said, I have spent more than I should.
They got a helpline, Stevie.
I mean, there's people like you said. If you watch like different YouTube channels, I mean, they're pumping thousands of their own dollars.
That scares me.
I don't do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I usually try to slap myself if I'm doing it at all. It's been less than it's definitely less than 300 overall.
There's a game on PC called Star Citizen, and it's a crowdfunded thing, right? And it's gotten near like $1 billion in crowdfunding money, right? And it's just from people buying spaceships that they can fly in this game, and they could go inside. It's like, oh, it's my spaceship, but each one they can cost up to like $25,000, something like that, and people can just buy the ship, and you're just buying in a game. It's not real. It's just a thing you can walk in the game. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars on it. Yeah, that's insane to me. But people are out there doing it, man. I mean, they put it up for sale and people agreed to it. So. Yep. What do you think life would be like if everything just turned off? If we shut off the internets? If we had to revert back to 1992, what would life be like for you? How would you handle that, Stevie?
Well, I'd just go back to early 2000s. I always loved seeing those Instagram reels of like what life was like in the early 2000s.
You literally bring up an Instagram reel when I ask you what life was like before the internet.
You know what I mean? Though?
I saw this reel once.
You go outside. You had the old fun playgrounds that looked like forts. You'd ride bikes. Just be outside.
Well, what would you do like today? Like in your adult life, what would you do?
Probably go out. Probably take Amy out for more walks.
Oh, that's nice.
Probably go. And we like to go to breweries and stuff like that. We probably just keep doing that.
I feel like you'd be one of those guys who reads the newspaper.
Oh, I have
that baby open.
I missed the paper. Actually, I missed those days.
You're like, oh, Betty White died, and you'd be telling us, and then you'd send us like a telegram or something
in the Tampa Bay Times. Yeah,
you'd let us know.
Yeah, I would read the comics, and I also would read the sports page. It was a good source of info.
And it was relatively current too. Somehow they
Yes.
had news that was like of the day before, or even of that morning. Sometimes
right.
they had up and they got that shit on the presses like real fast, you
Yep.
know. And yeah,
I actually miss it. I miss getting the physical paper.
I miss being able to get away from the news and get away from the rest of the world. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, like you weren't always available to everyone at all times. The world could just go away for a minute. You could just sit, you know, and get away from it. That's what I miss.
Yeah.
The option.
Phones weren't a thing either, and
I mean, they were. They just fucking called people on them. I went like,
you had a
rotary thing.
You had a household phone.
Yeah, yes, we did. Yeah.
You didn't have this, thing in your hand that, you could just, surf the internet and all that stuff at your disposal. You actually had to physically get up and call, and you had, your parents would store contacts in there, and all you could do was call.
In there? Oh man, I remember days when there was a Rolodex. Man, my dad had a thing where just had all the contacts, and you just swipe through it and be like, I know this guy's number, and remember that. And then you'd have the rotary telephone, dude. We had a rotary telephone when I was growing up, dude. You hated people with the zeros in there because you had to go all the way to the end, man. You know.
We never had a rotary. We had the landline. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, we shouldn't have had one. It was too fucking old, But that was.
It's pretty cool that you had a rotary.
I mean, I was raised by boomers, man, and they're like hardcore boomers. Like they stopped existing in like 1979. They like as a choice. But I wonder if we're gonna get so technological that we're gonna start rejecting it, kind of like a gag reflex. We're gonna want to go back to something simpler. And I wonder what forms that could take.
That's one of Charlie's theories, honestly. Yeah, he's like, he wants to see a revolution where people revolt against the internet.
Or like violently?
Yeah.
Or just like in a tacit, just like we're not going to use it.
Not going to use it, but like as a overall, as a group.
Yeah.
Is it a big populace? Yeah.
It's tough because we're also like collectively addicted to it. I feel like it's really tough to imagine, like I always said when I used to work as a musician that we should all unionize, because no one was, the wage for musicians didn't increase at all in like 50 years. They were paid exactly the same, even adjusted for inflation, it was the same. And I was like, we should all unionize. But it's like, if you say, I'm not going to take that gig, there's going to be 10 other guys that'll take that gig, because everyone just needs the fucking money, right? So it's the same with the internet. Just, even if you give up on it, everyone else needs it too much. I mean, it's just technological crack, So, I mean, do we have the power to resist that, Like, could you go without your phone for a week, Stevie?
Some of our friends would say absolutely not. I think I could. It's just about, I think like anything, moderation and balance, really. Yeah. And like being in Italy, I didn't have unlimited data. Amy was the only one who did. So I was physically forced to.
So you had a different experience because the limited data, I think.
Yeah,
Right? It puts you more presence in the experience, right?
Exactly. I mean, like, hey, you should unplug. It's your honeymoon. So like, I really did try to make a conscious effort. But to your point of asking, could I go a week? I probably could.
Yeah.
Depends on where I'm at.
Yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you can use it as a crutch if there's nothing else going on. I think around here, in just suburban American life, it's pretty dull, and it's nice to be able to look into a more interesting world, and have a glimpse of it, at your fingertips.
If I'm here, if doing what we're doing now in the city, suburban life, like you said, I probably could. If it was remote, we're up in a mountain, probably it would take some adjustment, but then eventually, like, not having it is a good thing. Like,
it makes me think, like, man, I could be so much better at so many things if I didn't have the ability to just look at this and just waste time and stuff. Like, I could be practicing, I could be playing piano, I could be jogging, I could be doing all sorts of things, but instead I'm just scrolling, and I find, like, what is this doing for me? I mean, it's an addiction just as much as any drug is, and it's counterproductive in that same way.
It's that quick hit of dopamine.
Yeah, and it works, man.
It does.
That's the nice thing about dopamine is that it does feel. You can't deny it feels great. But should life be pleasure seeking? Should we be always going for those quick hits of dopamine? It's like. I don't know. I mean, it's diminishing returns. I mean, it's not literal crack. I mean, it's not taking you up to here and then dropping it down. But I feel like it's kind of like a slow burning delivery of crack. I mean, it's like microdosing crack.
And me being a sports guy too. I'll watch a football game on a Sunday. That can go for 7 hours, or especially if I'm watching a college football game and it's a team I'm rooting for. If they were to lose, my reaction kind of at first is like, wow, I just wasted
7 hours. hours.
7 hours, or I wasted three and
You
a half.
watched this for 7 hours, Stevie?
And what did it do for me, right? Like, other than make me feel, oh, we lost, so it sucks.
I get that. That's how I feel like when I like die in a video game and I lose like an hour's progress. I'm just like, this was technically a waste of time before, but now it's really a waste of time because like I didn't get anything out of this.
So like your point, wow, what else could I be doing? What was that all for? Like we just wasted 7 hours of a day.
Well, you enjoy it.
He and I, like I say, we do enjoy it.
You could look at it pessimistically or optimistically. Like me, at my worst, I think of it like you see a phone screen that's off, right? And I look at this and I think, okay, as I'm scrolling here, I just imagine that I'm actually looking at it like this because it's just a piece of plastic. And I'm imagining how insane a person from the 1800s would think I was just looking at this for hours. Just you're staring at nothing.
Yep.
But, to you, it's this whole world. But it's like, in the end, what is happening? Nothing's happening,
That's right.
But we have to change the way that we enjoy things and the way that we view our lives because digital life is a real life now, as dystopian as it sounds. As we move into the future, the digital world becomes part of our real world and the line, it just gets blurred. It's not that it's not real, that the enjoyment that you felt, I mean, if you're playing games, if you're watching it, that's real shit. In the end game of life, it's like, what will you have amounted to? I mean, is all this stuff that you consumed, or is it going to be something that you build in the world? How real is it?
I'm with you. On one hand, it's you want to adapt. Like, you don't want to be phased out, right? But like you said, if we were to compare somebody, you said your parents are boomers or older generation, they're getting by in their own way. They're not tech savvy at all, but like they go out and do things, right? Like in the world, they wouldn't have any regrets in the fact that like my life, we did X, Y, and Z versus us. We're adapting to the technology boom that we had. Now we have AI. Like we have to remember that like we gotta unplug from that stuff too.
Yeah. And they were having to adapt to stuff too in their own lives.
Yeah.
I mean, everything changed more in the 20th century than all of human history before that.
That's right.
But I think that people see older people trying to deal with technology and how incapable they are of it, and it's like they're not really understanding how massive of a shift this is compared to like the people who lived 10,000 years ago to the people who lived like 1,000 years ago. There's very little difference in how they lived. They still did the same shit. They're mostly just farming, and all of a sudden you have to take the people who were just farming in like the 1920s, say like when my grandma was born in 1920s, most people were still just farming, and she's still alive today. And today we're living in this fucking alien cloud of science, that is just impossible to fathom. So it's like, I'm particularly understanding when I see old people and they can't figure out the phone, because it's like, imagine seeing that change in your lifetime, and trying to fucking cope with that,
Yep. My grandma is about the same age probably as your grandma, and she grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
One of 13 brothers and sisters. And she is actually, I give her credit, she's on Facebook for herself, but like she can get by. But like you're right. I'm seeing, hearing stories for her, growing up around the 1920s and in that time frame to now, and how everything has changed.
Completely different world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and my grandma texts me, I mean, she's doing great. Honestly, they're doing pretty great considering what an insane leap that we took. Yeah. I mean, like fucking, it was 66 years between the first man-powered flight and us landing on the moon. And now, just a few years later, all of a sudden now, I mean, everything is completely unrecognizable. The entire way that we live is completely unnatural. Everything that we do is fake. And so, I think that's why people want to go back to nature, because in some ways, just because everything is just artificial. The whole pattern of existence that we have now with our jobs, our whole schedules, everything we get into, all this, look at all the screens we have all around us, there's so many. Yeah. And what is all this? This is fake. This isn't real. What is the point of all this, TV?
It's a great question.
There's no answer, is there?
No, there's no right answer either. Maybe on one hand, enjoyment, those low levels of dopamine too.
Are we here just to enjoy it? Do you think that people are here more to struggle or to enjoy things?
I think the natural answer would be enjoy. Yeah. With how society is nowadays, right?
Well, like to you, what do you think people are here? What do you think you're here for?
I think I'm here to make a difference, other people's lives, Amy's life, my parents' life, my brother, my grandma.
Okay, so for
You
you,
guys.
it's duty to your family, right?
Duty to family, to friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More so than pleasure in that case.
Yeah. Well, at least try to strive for that,
Well,
right? Like,
you gotta enjoy yourself while you're
try
being
to
dutiful.
do that versus own personal fulfillment of things, right? But
Yeah, I gotta agree. Because if you aren't struggling, if you aren't working for something for someone, you know, you're aimless, and it's a lost kind of existence, and it feels pretty vapid. You know,
I mean, obviously, trying to have a purpose for what you do.
Do you think that you're gonna retire as soon as you can, and then just hang out on the golf course the rest of your life?
I would like to do that. You know, I guess we'll see how our current economic climate is way different than our parents, right? Like my dad. Yeah, my dad always had a personal goal of retiring at 60, and he did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's feasible for us. It may not be. Might be more like 65, if that. But no, see, I don't even know.
Maybe 65. That'd be great. I was thinking more like 85 was what I was picturing. We're like, maybe worst case scenario 65. You have a very optimistic view of the future, Stevie, and I love that.
Well, I mean, it's probably more like 80, like you said, or we just work till we die. At this point,
sometimes I say that I want to work till I die, and everyone looks at me like I'm a fucking asshole, and like, but I guess they don't understand it. For me, it's just like I see people retire. And obviously, and I'm sure your dad will still find purpose. I mean, like Mr. Sway is cool as hell, and he's going to find ways to fill his time and still do great things. But some people, they just like stop everything, and they just do nothing but sit around, and then they just die. Right? And it's like you can't just give up on all your responsibilities and trying to do good for your family and be around you. You have to still do some work, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what you can retire, but you can't just stop trying at stuff, and that's why I hate to see people will say they just want to sit around and do nothing. I hate that, man. I'm talking to you, Chris, but
for my
it's like you gotta work at something,
for
right?
My parents, they're traveling now. They got an RV.
Yeah.
So they're doing camping. But eventually they're gonna kick it up to where they're traveling around the country and sightseeing. Then they're gonna do it globally too, having a purpose and having a plan. I think you're right. That's what I want to strive for. Obviously, when my time comes, like when it comes, if it's 65, if it's 75, being around my parents and around my dad, who shout out is my financial advisor too. But if I'm working to 75, we'll see what that entails as we go along, right? Like I personally probably don't want to be working that long.
Maybe like reduced hours or something.
Or like whatever it is.
Whenever you want to work.
I want to be able to be in a position kind of like my parents are now, where like I get to dictate the rest, like those last 20 years or so.
Yeah, and if you do well in your career, you shouldn't be in a position where someone's gonna be just on your ass all the time. You should be at a point where you can say, I'll come in, I'll work when I feel like it, and it's where just your experience, your knowledge weighs much more than just your presence somewhere at all time.
Yep. Right? And also like ending it on your terms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotta do everything on your terms,
remember,
man.
like I said, I don't think he worked too much past when he turned 60.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I respect him a lot. He managed our family's finances growing up, but learning from them, okay, I think I definitely want to have a goal. Maybe it's probably not going to be 60, but like, I want to have that time where I can cut it off, and then I'm going to do what I want.
Be ready, man.
Like what they're doing. Travel the world, right? Like, have a purpose.
Play Madden 46.
Get
all the DLC, all the
all the microtransactions.
The best roster of all time,
that's
man.
Right, at 65.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Stevie, I hope you get there, man. And I hope we're still hanging out then, so I'd like to, I think we're all going to be a bunch of great retired old cranky bros, so I'm looking forward to those.
The retirement home's not ready for 65-year-old Steven.
Yeah, it's probably best just for everyone if we all go before then, man. They're not ready for us. Yeah. All right, Stevie. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's been awesome.
Let's go get some dinner.
Let's go get some dinner.